got it! Gypsy Goddess! Mystic aroma balsam from Checkers, I'm superior.
We're here. Look at him in action there, Lloydie.
Yeah. Hey.
Welcome back for another week, boys. Apologies out there, listeners. My voice is a little husky because I found where Racing Queensland lives and I stayed up all night spraying the mother F-U, whatever you want to put to the next. But barrier draws are probably not our conversation this week.
No, they aren't.
Group 1 racing is, though.
Yes, it is.
5 plus the All-Star Mile.
Go
Wow.
on. We should have got shirts made. Could have said All-Star Mile.
No. They should have sent us some shirts.
They should have.
That's what they...
If they were serious about it, they would have.
They need any help to plug this race.
I should know this, but was it always on Golden Slipper Day or has it been flicked around? It's always been Slipper Day.
I think it just might fall on it if it falls on it, kind of.
Yeah, it's,
I don't think
it's one of those ones.
there's not a
Because
fixed date,
it's
is there?
unfortunate for them because the focus certainly won't
Well,
be down in
it's
Melbourne.
definitely always been on Jewel Day. And I don't know if Jewel Day's always been Slipper Day.
Yeah, right, okay. I just wondered because I haven't... I remember last time there was like a real focus on it, whereas this time I kind of don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It seems to be the common thread, though, with this little race that should really engage a nation.
Well, it's
That's
supposed
the
to
whole
take
idea.
on the Everest, right? That was the plan with it being the All-Star Mile, and it's just the All-Star
Well,
flop.
because because many race clubs ask for our opinions on how things can be improved, we're always willing to give them. Then they just do nothing with them anyway. But we'll do the same for Victorian racing, our great friends down there. How could the All-Star Mile be improved to the race you want it to be?
Just remove it from the calendar. I think that would pretty much improve it for me.
Again, I think that's a general consensus. But
I just don't think they don't get it. Like PVL's done what he's done, and they've tried to just copy paste. It doesn't it hasn't worked. It just has not worked. They had scooters at the opening. Yeah.
I think
know,
the
it's just the whole sort of setup.
For me, the uniqueness was you could literally have a bush battler racing against a Zaki.
Yeah.
That was the intrigue for it, and they eliminated that fact because they put all these stupid had to place at group level, had to do this and that, which in a sense you get like
the aim was to get quality, but
but you're still going to get quality. Like they could have had those the wild card races their intrigue, but the idea was if you want foreign eyes on the race, then you get like a Regalo Diatoro, however you freaking say that, getting 10,000 votes, and everyone's going to watch it for that horse. It's going to run last, but who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Probably.
I'm surprised there's not a few Kiwis.
Lost that
sort of
mystique.
like there's no Kiwis coming from.
Agon got a wild card, but yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
that's
what you
like
mean.
surely that's a market. Like
You know what
Mile,
there's no like cult horses to get them in.
No. Probably the only thing, like, and this is only just off the top of my head now, like, you could almost, instead of just having, like, those couple of wild card races, you know, like the winner of the, what do they do, the Futurity and the one the week before, like, the one that non-conformist won, like, the winner of them gets wild cards, like, all well and good, but they could almost make it that you've got to, like, finish top 2 or 3 in every, or in one of the, say, 1,400 to 1,800 metre Group 1s, like on the Victorian racing calendar for the 12 months leading up to it, you know. So like then you've got your
and just vote from
vote from those horses. So like you've got
I have a pool
basically, like
instead of
so it is proper all-star. You've got your CF4, your Sir Rupert Clarke, your Champions Mile.
What happens if only 3 go though, and then you've got no pool? Then what do you do?
But that should be the idea: is that horses that are wanting to get into the All-Star Mile are going to those other Group 1s, boosting that race up. You know, like you've got your Regalo di Gaetanos coming across from South Australia to run in the Sir Rupert Clarke in the spring, and you've got Group 1 horses from Brisbane. Like there's no Queensland representative. You know, or they could. The other thing they could really do is they could put wildcard races throughout the year in different states. You know,
that's the go.
We're half on about not having a mile race in Brisbane over the carnival. All-Star Mile, reach out to the BRC and say, hey, we want to put a $500,000 wildcard race on Stradbroke Day, or on Tats Tiara Day or something over the mile. You win and the top 2 horses in it get wildcards or something like that. Like automatic entry into it, and then throw one into WA on Winterbottom Day and say the winner of this.
Or they could do they could have 1,600 metre maidens all through country Victoria at Colac and stuff like that. And whoever wins those races goes in. And then the All-Star Mile would really be...
Yeah.
So
You'd have
half,
some runners wanting to
half
go there.
hit and then half just all class.
Yeah.
And then just see what... And then
A long
just see
tail.
What, and just see what happens on the day. Because anything can happen. Particularly if it's at the Valley. It could just be complete no Thunderdome. That's another system that they could
You know what would even be more chaos? When it's at Flemington, have the All-Star field start from the mile, and then all the battlers start from the 1,000 metre sprint chute, and just have them just collide merge in the straight, and just have 400 metres.
Don't joke about that. This is a true story. I had a dream the other night about a racing dream, and quite often when I have like bets pending and whatnot, I'll dream about the race the night before. So on the weekend, this coming weekend, King's Gambit in the Slipper and Remark in the Galaxy are my two best results. Well, I've dreamt that the two capacity fields, so there was 30 horses on the track, racing each other at the same time in their own races, but all on the track at the same time. Remark and King's Gambit have gone out and they're 7 lengths in front at the 100 and both won. And there was big gap back to the rest of them. But you know, like you could be the 10th horse home, but you could actually come second in that particular race. So maybe we have the All-Star Mile and the Country Mile on the track at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's
a bit of hybrid.
Particularly after what we've had over the weekend, perhaps not the
Possibly.
Yeah.
They could go the other way.
Yeah, that's true.
Start back to back over at the 1600.
Well, there you go. So, Racing Victoria,
No doubt listening.
call us. We've got some ideas.
Yep.
Call our friends at the BRC.
Yep.
They'll happily make the Stradbroke a wildcard race.
Yep.
More importantly, we may as well finish up with the winner of the All-Star Mile. Even though it's not a Group 1 race, Victoria, we'll give you this time in the spotlight.
Mr. Brightside for me, barrier 2, settle a little bit closer. He's been knocking on the door, ready to win.
Alligator Blood. I can't jump off the blood. He's pretty much bulletproof. So
Nor should you.
$2.70 is probably a little thin, but yeah.
In hindsight, could be the easiest money you'll ever make. I've got to go back to the well with Thunderstruck.
Yep.
I reckon that's the obvious trifecta though for us
isn't it?
as well.
It's probably been a trifecta the last
Yeah.
4 times they've raced each
Probably
other.
has.
Yeah.
And stick with it, Mugs. So synthetic hoof filler. Now that's the word of the day, apparently. Alligator blood, mate. He's carrying it. I don't think you knew that. But anyway, Lloyd, is King's Gambit carrying it too? Is that what I've
Yeah,
heard?
it means jack shit.
Nah, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it is wearing it. Don't call it own's wearing it. Horses
They
wear
all
it.
do.
I've got a bit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wear it all the time.
Well, it's to boost them up a couple inches for the photos.
That's right.
Still a bit stand tall.
Because they get like the sashes on, they look good after the race. Nothing. It's just like getting a bit of Botox,
Yeah,
mate.
white noise. Put a pen through it.
An extra inch on the dick, you know?
Basically.
That's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout.
Synthetic cock filler.
But, well, boys, last week, results a bit up and down. The
Up
Group
and down,
1s,
or
up
running
and
up
down.
asses?
Well, down, up for BMOS for In Secret, which was super, by the way. Not just the brag of tipping it, but could have a pretty serious sprinter on her hands with In Secret. TJ Smith, obviously, the next sort of target, which I guess she's going to meet a lot of this field, potentially.
No doubt.
Day 1 of the championships.
Yeah.
That'd
is
be a
the
really
TJ.
good race.
Big cracker.
Holy.
Gets people to the races, that kind of a
Zach
field.
Purden
So.
booked for Giga Kick too. That's
Yeah.
a bit of big news.
Poor old Craig. Won't
Yeah.
get another ride.
Yeah, poor bloke. I think he's doing alright though.
Been replaced by the real mastermind.
Yeah, correct.
But before we venture down, boys, to 5 Group 1s in Sydney, we're at Doomben, as you stated there, Lloydie, Jewel Day. So there's some big dollars up for grabs, and there's a very interesting runner, which we'll get to in race number 6, called ISOTOPE, which we all know and love. The races 1 to 4, boys, not a bad card this weekend. I reckon we've spewed up the last 3 weeks trying to present the optimism for Brisbane racing. But,
It's a good card.
but Mugs out there, if you're having a watch, you're watching at Doomben. Put it that way. So get excited. Races 1 to 4, I reckon we might even have a selection for all of them. But any early thoughts, maybe races 1 or 2 there, boys?
I'm having a go in both of them actually. I'm pretty keen on Put on the Red Light in race number 1. It's got a 2 kilo weight swing. Yeah, I think it was on, who did it race against last start? Nashira. So I think barrier 4, KWT TJ Golan, $8. It's certainly a bet there. And in race 2, you've got to be on Navajo Peak, I think. I just think it jump leads and wins. It's got that sort of superior form from down south, in behind horses like Love Wild. I mean, that's city class on a Wednesday, and that's probably pretty good for a Doomben on a Saturday. $2.45 I'm seeing now, so that's it's sort of drifted out a bit.
Yeah.
Good luck to the Munciad with Southern Stock, but I think Navajo Peak gets the job done there. And race 3, there was one in race 3 that I was half keen on, but I think Lloyd is probably going to whack off to it, so I'll fire away. Good sir.
Race 3, I love.
No, I'm definitely keen on races 1. Zuma California on top.
Yeah, carrying a stack of weight though, that was what scared me.
Yeah, but a lot of them sort of are. Like Hold On Honey's got to carry 58. This girl comes down to, comes down to 57 and a half after CJ Graham's claim. So, like a few of those ones up the top, it's going to get in a little bit better. But this horse, like, ran second on this day last year to Prince of Boom. And then, we saw it run behind Far Too Easy. It got beat a few times by Far Too Easy, Prince of Boom, Enterprise Pom, Sweet Margot May, who's probably the main danger to ISOTOPE later on. And then he went and won 3 in a row. So, and then at the end of the last prep behind Miss Hipstar, and then went around behind TikTok Queen, Orenti and Antino in the gateway. Trial was really good up at Toowoomba there. So I reckon this horse run a bit of a good race first up, and bandages come off for the first time. So that could be a bit of a sign that feet issues gone.
Woo!
Race 2 don't really.
The Toowoomba soil's done well, mate.
Yeah.
They've backed it. They've backed it.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about in race 3, but.
Race 3, well, I'm going to follow Red Wave
Yeah, fair.
in here. Not a bad run first up. Moz's trial hards, which still going to be short of the distance, which is a little bit of a worry. But if he's come back as good as I think, this race is certainly winnable for Red Wave.
Yeah, I think the horse Bean was referring to, it was the Toppy Bottega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going again, are you?
I haven't, in all honesty, I haven't done the race yet, but it was a good run first up. Angela Jones on from barrier 6 won't be sort of back where it was last start. I didn't expect it to be last the fence in a big field and get beat a lip, but anyway.
Buying time. Race number 4 comes through probably one of the hottest form lines in Brisbane right now. Had a few winners come through that one behind Buying Time. So, look, there's always the potential there. The uncommon James Colours, that's just what sucks us in. $3.30, Bean. What do you reckon?
Well, I backed Miss Tambo last night on Wednesday. Doomben finally saluted. God, it took a while to get that one across the line. But we stuck solid and paid off.
Yeah.
The query there was it was in behind Born a Warrior, which was in yesterday at the farm and didn't run. Yeah, but it wasn't it wasn't sort of. I thought it would just kick, lick, and dick basically. But anyway, it didn't do that. I mean, $7 is a bet probably, but I'm not wildly keen on the. I can't back Buying Time if that's what you're asking. No.
Well, that's what I was asking.
No.
And I think I got my answer,
No.
didn't I?
No chance.
Yeah, I can't back it either.
It's always
Yeah.
threes or under. It's just,
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
I definitely can back one though.
Yeah. Number 1?
No, Nipotino, number 19. Third emergency, but got a run. Last start 4th behind Dashing Legend and Coach in a listed race at Randwick. That race went super, according to the data. Key gear change, Karen McAvoy off, Angela Jones on. Only has to carry 55 kilos. Like, that's a kilo less than what it carried in listed company last start. Barrier 11, it'll come in a bit with a few scratchings there. But listening to John Thompson on the radio yesterday, he was nominated this horse in Sydney and up here, and he said we'll be going to Brisbane because it looks very winnable, and it's like 9s into 5s.
Yeah.
It's probably borderline best of the day sort of territory.
Well,
Yeah, I'm keen one that ran in that same race against it down in Sydney too, so you've got to have a spec at it. So yeah, I think that's the
Nice.
We're speaking with plenty of confidence then,
Yep.
boys,
I'm pretty keen on a few.
which is what we need on Super Saturday almost.
Mhm.
Is it
Yeah.
called Super Saturday? Is that what Taylor coined it?
No,
Big day on.
big day out. It's not a big day on.
Big day on.
Jeez. God. I don't know what goes on. Is
Is that what
Brody,
it's actually called? Big day on.
is Brody thinking of their
something-
marketing puns? Because
Big
they're all
day
terrible.
on.
No, I don't think he is.
It's up there
but-
with Bet's friends.
What did they?
Like, come on.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good territory,
Get some,
isn't
get
it?
some creativeness into your
Best
TA.
friends.
I mean, you're a $1 billion industry. Pay some bloke $5 an hour to think of jazzy names.
Yeah, yeah.
Three of you here waiting to go.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? Best friends. Oh well.
Well, it's Jewel time, the gold Jewel, so not the big ones, but Berry Cart, same colours, same farm, same trainers, $3.30 on the drift a little bit. Stuttering, I know a few of you boys are just stuttering it all out.
Mate.
But not a bad field, not a bad addition. A few of these horses, I mean, you go down the list. Roman Aureus, we're back to stack. Love the thing, but not sure where he's at. Pentito, we're back to the stack.
Gone.
Love the thing, not sure where it's at. But you're getting 15, 16 bucks for those two. And if you keep going down the field, Master Jamie, is it a fall from grace or is it a plunge ready to happen, Lloydie?
I don't know. I really don't. You know, he's still only he's only 5-year-old or 6-year-old. Like, there's still plenty of racing left in him. He's just that horse, isn't he? He gets weighted out of races, and he never.
Is he
gets...
weighted out of this though? He's sort of like.
I don't think so.
He's not weighted out of this.
Probably-
no, he's got half a hope.
Probably in
right?
his right class for a very long time.
Correct, and like these aren't, you know, like we've seen some of his flops in Brisbane, like they've come in Stradbrokes and, you know, BTC Cups kind of thing. Like this is far from that good a race. There's a little bit of speed, but he's probably going to be able to control it. Bubba Till goes back on. I'm not with him, but I don't think he's a $30 chance, that's for sure.
I think there's 3 chances in the race.
I think Stuttering's probably the pick of them, but
He's one of them, Stuttering. I reckon Master Jamie is a hope at the 58 kilos over 1350, but Tumble Ridge will win this. Pretty keen. Shiloh form, bit of Namazu form, came out and ran well, then just got to that extra trip, that's Namazu, that just didn't suit it. Absolutely lives and breathes Doomben race course. It sniffs out Doomben better than we used to. It just loves this track. And
What's it sniffing though? That's what we need to worry about these days, apparently.
yeah, hopefully not any of the stuff we keep hearing about. I'm hoping he just wins the race and they just get the plate and head home. Just don't do anything on course. But good or soft decks. I think we're supposed to set for a 35-degree day tomorrow, I believe, here in Brisbane. But it'll probably be a heavy 8 come Saturday. Who knows? But I'm keen. Tumbler Ridge. I think it wins.
Yep, I'm feeling you, Bean. I'm feeling you.
nice. Yeah, Stuttering on top. I just think he goes from 59 kilos last start down to, what'd you go to 52.5 or 52 this time around. So yeah, he dropped 6.5 kilos. The start before that, he was beating Rockamore and Love Sensation, and we'll see how the Bottega and more the #1 form stacks up a little bit earlier in the day.
We shall do. The big day on, remember? Big day on. The best friends getting amongst it. Interesting point we brought up. It's probably going to be good too, because it's absolutely stinking hot. But we got the same problem everywhere. Rose Hill's going to be 30 something. Mooney Valley, they're talking about bringing forward potentially, because it's going to be.
I'll wake up at 5
super
a.m. and do
hot.
race 3. Race 3 in the
Pretty
Valley.
much
That's
what's
going
gonna
to miss the
happen.
All-Star Mile.
Remember when they did that a few
shade?
years ago?
Yeah, the
It
first
was
race was
at
at 9 a.m. or
Yeah.
something like
Right.
that.
Messaged me, it's
I was
like,
making a
everybody's
coffee.
5 at midday.
I was making a coffee and then down the straight at 8 o'clock. I was like,
And what's worse, I reckon we missed races 1 to 4 with the promos.
Yeah.
We've all bloody won. But it's probably one of those days that I know we glamorise about the prices that we don't ever really get early anyway. But if things are drifted, it's probably because trackside, these things are melting up in the heat, which could be a factor that you don't think about. So,
it'll be hot on Saturday, big time.
one to watch there, mugs out there.
Rails out 1.5 meters as well, so keep
Perfect.
that in mind,
Oh,
which is probably
well, that cools everything down by
it does.
a
Yeah,
couple
sort
of
of,
degrees.
There's that
1.5
cool
degrees.
breeze that runs along the inner rail there.
Yeah.
Okay, we might duck down the border to the what could have been for Virtuous Circle Guineas. Race number 4 at Rose Hill. We got 5 Group 1, so we'll smash out a couple now. Pericles is almost favourite by default here, I find. It's a pretty fucking ordinary field, isn't it?
It's average.
I mean, it's doing disdain for legends such as Kementari, who won this race. Really.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
Godolphin, is it that simple? I'm saying yes. No, I've got another one. Should
it'll be mighty hard to beat, but I think the big grey can have his day. Brosnan, this horse, he's only won the 1 race, but he ran 3rd, beaten half a length to She's a Belter in Political Debate in the JJ Atkins last year. Rock hard track. He's he's never been past the mile, and like his only time, well, he's had two goes at the mile. One was in that JJ, the other was in a Caulfield Guineas where he just didn't really get the race run to suit. But last start over 1500 behind Zoo Gotcha was a cracking run. He was 3 wide the trip, and he was strong throughout to the line. He gets to 2,000 metres on the 7-day backup, 4th up, dry track. I really like this horse. I think he's a blowout hope, and he's just been crying out. I think I sent his after his first up win. But
National Latte.
yeah, that's the danger. They're my 2 results.
They're the 2. Yeah, he has been harping about Brosnan for a while, so.
Yeah, I think this is his day. His big day on.
So the best thing about Nick Ward's futures being is when they result, means we don't have to hear about him anymore.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's
He
just
just gets
the
excited.
new bunch.
You can congratulate them.
But
This
mate,
is a good one because I took
could be a
15
big
to
day
take
on.
to 17.
Ah, good. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
I'm with Manzois here. K-Mac, he's jumped out of the ground and he's ridden a winner. I think it was on Sunday in Canberra.
2 from his last 400.
Yeah, so we're back on track now. He's probably going to win the Melbourne Cup this year, the 2023 version of the Melbourne Cup. He'll salute. But I'm with Manzois. I thought it was pretty impressive last start. It's had one go on a good deck for a second, so I think it does sort of prefer the cut in the ground, but it's only had 7 career starts and just most of them been on soft just purely because of the tracks it's had to run on. But it was pretty good late. I think it was 5.8 lengths or something like that off Communist. We got a Purton special, so remove 2 lengths off that. We'll call it 3.8 because that's sort of what Purton adds. But I think it can be winning at about the $9.50 for Waller. This is the Waller Sting job.
the Wallace Sting job, we haven't had one of them for a while, except every other weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
Elliptical for me. Just think coming up from Melbourne, wouldn't be bringing it here unless it's ready to go. Pretty damn good win first up.
Yep.
Oh, well, there's a stack of unlucky runners in that Oz Guineas, which we won't talk about too much for you, Lloydie.
Different Friedman yard or same Friedman yard that
Anthony.
cleaned up?
Anthony
Who won?
and Sam.
Did they win the other day? Who won the other day?
They've won a
Was
lot.
the uncle or
One
cousin or the
one of each.
was
Yeah,
it?
one of each. Not worried about the curse, the knockback 2.4 million to Hong Kong to keep racing it.
Yeah,
Is that a really bad curse?
Oh, there's a few.
There's a few.
yeah, it's a long list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you almost still a cult.
Oh,
you
yeah,
almost,
exactly.
You almost have to assume that
Yeah.
this
You
is
just have
this
to
is one on the
sell.
way out.
I
Well, they're
don't-
obviously
I
gonna-
don't understand.
This is this Lockie Hunter, isn't it? He's in
Yeah.
this that had
Well, this is the
Merchant Navy Super Seth.
and the Freedmans are very they're very good, but very meticulous with placement too. I find so easy Group 1 wins the easy Group 1 off to a stud career, charges $10 bazillion a sperm pop
Yeah.
for a shitty Group 1 win, but who cares about that in 50 years,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah,
They
that
say
is
that?
what they say. They probably should say it if they don't.
We'll skip race 5. We'll get race 6 out of the way, the Rambit, because this is another 2,000 metre trip that I don't know. I'm not too excited about it, to be honest. But
It's another one of those ones, isn't it?
well,
It's a
I think
couple-
Gold Trip picked himself until we found out it's going to be 30,000 degrees there in Sydney on Saturday. So absolute froths the wet. Never won on a good track. Is that your dint on the favourite, or is Gold Trip just Melbourne Cup winner, class above, gets to a bit of a trip now?
I'm keen on it, to be honest. I don't think there's any, like, I hear what tune you're talking from, but it's had 3 starts for a second and a third. One of those, then another start on a good deck. It was 1.9 lengths off Smoke and Romans and Maximal. That was that blanket finish in, what was that, what was that?
Yeah.
The one where we all
The
potted
Turnbull?
Smoke and Romans.
Was it the
And it
Turnbull?
came out and lost.
Turnbull. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I hear what you're coming from. I thought it'd be getting more dour and I thought we'd see to the Jericho Cup, to be honest. But over the mile first up, holy jeez, he looked good, fresh as, and just was rounding him up and just missed late.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think barrier 8 Zara weak field wins $4.
A little bit for the history buffs, I was just trying to go through because I remember Very Elegant got beaten in this race last year. It's a $1.24 favourite, and I thought, I wonder how many horses have won a Melbourne Cup and then gone and won the Randwick in the following autumn. I think there's only 4. The last one was Peter Pan in 1935. So
Wow. Okay.
88 years since a horse has done in the same season. Very Elegant's won this race, but not the same, not the autumn after. So if you want to put a knock on a horse for something like that, maybe that's something. But hey, Banker's Choice at $50 or $60. I thought it was over. This horse is flying. He's going to be third up now. I thought he was just a wet tracker. We saw him win that Ballarat Cup in the spring over 2000. He won by 2.5 lengths, beat at Tissue that day. And Sorelio Misu was really good winning on the weekend at Flemington. But first up, he was behind Scalapini on a good 3 at Flemington, and he hit the line really nicely. He's obviously come out and won. Biometric ran, I think, 2nd or 3rd again to Scalapini in that race. Munamek ran 3rd, and it won its next start. Then last up behind Nonconformist Pounding, and he flew home to run 3rd. His actual, his second best, which is pretty much on par with his Ballarat Cup win, was when he ran 6th in that Champion Stakes behind Zaki. That was a good 3 at Flemington over 2,000 metres. So I actually don't think the dry track's that big a worry. Yeah, it's 2,000 metres, going to be a dry track there in Sydney, and we're getting like $11 the place in a race that...
$26 now.
Is he? I haven't had my bet, that's
Well,
a shame.
Well,
I'll have to shop around.
people are listening in live.
That maybe we got a wire, but yeah, I thought you watched those last 2
Not a bad
runs.
case.
Yeah,
Not a bad case.
Yep.
International flavour here, so I'm with it. Raise you, Joseph O'Brien, Melbourne Cup winning trainer in his own right.
yeah.
Mugs, let me tell you about the form here. 9 lengths behind Kyprios. Best stayer in the world at the moment. Okay? Okay? Second behind Earl of Tyrone, which was a Melbourne Cup favourite 2 years ago before he even won the Derby or whatever it was called over there. Didn't end up coming.
He's here now.
It's here now, so look out for it. But that is top line European form. And you're getting $12 on a stable that is a master of a hit and run in Australia, O'Brien Yard. $12 raise you. There's another one in the race, Dubai Honour for the Haggis Yard.
Yeah.
You probably just insert the same quote and put that in if you liked that one too. Yeah.
Good luck
Okay.
to you.
Thanks. I'll need it. Back to Doom, a place where we don't need like mugs because we are absolute astute masters. And race 6, well, that's how we hook you in at the start of the show there, Monks. We mentioned that there was a race that we wanted to talk about because we're excited to see ISOTOPE, almost the most perfectly weighted horse anywhere in the history of horse racing. And then for some reason, maybe Racing Queensland thought, because we talk about ISOTOPE so much, our colours are black and white predominantly, they thought that we owned it. So they've given her barrier 14 a 14.
Yep.
Ouch.
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 Correct. So she went from being immoral to being, there could be a few little chinks in the armour here.
To being $1.20 to $2.90.
Probably.
Is what we're getting.
Correct.
Mm.
Yes. I think this is almost a 2-bet play because you back ISOTOPE as your main bet on the basis that she's the best horse in the race.
Yep.
And then you go back and watch Majestic Shot's last start at this track and distance when she got a mile back and reeled off some slick sectionals to run 3rd behind Fetch and Hold On Honey, who go around in there. Well, Fetch doesn't, but Hold On Honey does. Fetch goes around here. So you're going to get a bit of speed. You've got Windside, I promise you, Extra Gear, Delight probably be handy. There'll be a few others that'll be up there as well. And this Majestic Shot, she was really good the last start. So she's not necessarily the on top pick, but she's certainly a bet in the race because I think if ISOTOPE gets beaten by the barrier or a few things that she can do wrong in the run, Majestic Shot's the one over the top. I really wanted to be on her wherever she went next start. It's a bit of a shame she's here. Like I would have happily taken $3 in a lesser race.
Could it be almost the perfect storm in a sense for ISOTOPE? Because she's going to have to go back potentially anyway.
Yeah.
So she's going to miss... I don't know what the problem with her barrier
Correct,
is lately anyway, but if she's going to miss the kick, she doesn't have anywhere to go but back.
Yeah, it's probably
Albeit,
almost
so-
probably helps.
I'm thinking too back to one of her wins where she's come from last, beat away game on the post. And you look at
mode plate, I think
that's the one. But you look at that field compared to what she's meeting here on Saturday. Like, if she's going to be running them down, she's going to be doing it on 2 legs.
That was a little while ago.
It was a while ago.
Like, we haven't seen her. How long's it been since she's won? Like,
Well,
was it
hates
Magic Millions Day
hates
last
the
year?
wet tracks
Yeah.
as well. So it might just be
Yeah, she's got
Finally-
recipes getting out.
Yeah, she finally gets all
another one. You're right. I think ISOTOPE will be my selection.
Yeah.
Because I'm desperate just for winners and I don't want to get caught out. Delight at $12 to place though
She's going awful.
is very silly. She's going awful, but comes through an absolute
She's
red hot
very
race.
silly. She's going awful.
She's going awful. Comes through that depot race though, where you had Bitcoin Baby second, who's come out one on Wednesday.
Yep.
The general win on Friday at Ipswich at hopefully 20 to 1.
Yep.
I haven't had a look yet. Berry Cart goes around favourite on the same card. And Deloitte was a bob of the head behind Berry Cart there. So it seems like a pretty decent form line for a horse at $12 to place.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So that's your case.
Fair enough. I'm with
Case
Willinga.
of pink gins. Oh! No.
I'm with Willinga Beasts for the Chris Lee's team. Query, obviously, a good deck, but it's never had a run on one either.
Yeah,
So it's all its success has been on heavy. 3 starts on a soft and not run a place. Doesn't add a stack of confidence, but good deck to soft, completely different. 53 kilos, barrier 12 is a little bit worrying, but it was in that same race that you referenced earlier behind Cottier and Dashing Legend.
Yeah.
So what was that horse in the second or third?
Nipotino.
If Nipotino comes out and wins early on in the day, then I suspect the money will come a little bit more for Willinga Beast. But I think it's a bet in this race, bit of a bring up to Brisbane and grab a bit of cash. But Isotope, you've got to have something on Isotope because class, it wins this, right? But
Yeah.
I reckon we can get a better
it's-
price on the day
it's
too.
one of those ones though. Class it's been pretty classy the last couple of times. You just can't get the chocolate. It's
Oh,
unfortunately.
gee
Yeah,
whiz.
it's
It's just a shame.
that was like narrowly got beaten in the behind Paris Dior in the Percy
there's just-
Sykes and
Yeah, it's just a couple of those races just got none of that sort of
Nothing
thing.
went-
You just
nothing
like,
went its
oh,
way.
God, anyway.
Champions bounce back, mate.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's what we're really
Hopefully it does.
hoping that our stable does as well.
Yep.
You know, turn your phone on fucking silent. It's just vibrating this whole way. That's all we can hear on this thing. Unbelievable.
Bit of angst here.
You're not
ladies and
getting
gentlemen.
any hot tips.
no.
Give me the tip for the 2-year-old Jewel, Lloydie. This is where you can.
yeah.
Unless that was your memo from
No.
a trainer saying, from old mate boss of Proven Thoroughbred saying, shot of whiskey
That
is an
might
absolute
is on.
sure thing.
Yeah.
Well, it did get a start.
in, no
So
worries at
look,
all.
the good guys win. How about that?
Happy
But
days.
the best horse in the land at the 2-year-olds. Don't know why they're not going to the Golden Slipper, to be honest. But we're here with Mashani Royale,
Yeah.
$3.50 favourite. Its only defeat comes at the hands of Show Me Mercy, who's a haven't heard of it since horse. So put it back
Yeah.
together. Here we are. Blue Diamond form, really.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
It wins,
Okay, you go first.
I think.
Yeah.
I was half keen on trifling, but the fact that Benny Thompson jumps off and jumps on this, that's as big a push as I need. Michael Cahill's on trifling, it can't win. Not because of the jockey, just because of the jockey change. I think that's the biggest push.
He
for
won
him.
one at the Sunshine Coast.
First go Doomben, barrier 8 gives him all the options, but he's going to be going forward from there. It has the speed. I think in the speed maps it looked as if there's not a stack of pace inside it. I mean, I don't believe that because it's a 2-year-old race.
2-year-olds, they go
So they'll all sort of
stupid.
go forward, but
Yeah.
but on the actual maps, it doesn't look like any of them are going to jump out of the ground. There's done nothing wrong. 55.
The thing is too,
Kangaroos,
there's
$3.70.
now I know that they don't do this, but there is 2 other Mashanis in the race. So one might just happen to go pretty hard up front too.
Yeah, there could be that.
Quite
Just-
possibly.
just-
Piss off them.
Just
Yeah.
a sniff.
Yeah.
Just to soften a few others.
Yep.
I'm with the unbeaten 2-year-old from the Sydney yard from Bjorn Baker, Rupert's House. He didn't beat much on debut when he won at Doomben, but it was the way he did it.
Yeah, it's a very good win,
Yes,
wasn't
it was a very good win. He drew 8 of 9. Jimmy Allman stayed a long way off the fence, even around the corner. He was probably 4 deep, even though there's nothing inside him. He just kept him off the fence, and then he came down. He travelled for a long way, and then he skipped clear. He won by a length. Beat Ashigaro. Top funds placed a few times. And the 4th horse is one of the Mashanis, maybe Mashani Metallic, that's in this race. It got beaten at Toowoomba behind Russian Alliance, who won its start after that, and then Mashani Metallic won at Toowoomba last weekend. So a little bit of form sort of to tie in. This horse has been back to Sydney, trial behind the King, named after you, I think. I'll just say after you, and I don't know which one, but that horse did trial well. So look, back up here, Jimmy Allman.
Yeah, the
sticks
booking
with
nice.
us.
Yeah.
The King does go around next Wednesday on the Kenzo as well, so interesting to see. But yeah, I thought barrier 3 doesn't have to do any work.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Take on the
Different
Mashanis up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, good shout. Good quinola there, Babs.
Perhaps.
For the
You're with
ones.
Mashani Royale.
I'm with Mashani. Yep, it's done me wonders.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks now, so can't jump off. A lot of these 2-year-olds don't do anything wrong until this kind of race, and they all do something wrong.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, true.
Animo time, boys. The big A.
Yeah.
Do we talk
Yeah.
about it much? Well, the interesting thing was he's gone back to the George Ryder now instead of the Rambit.
Yeah.
Keep the sharpness in the legs for the QE, maybe.
I reckon the other way. I reckon pull up stumps.
Yeah, you reckon it'll be done?
Well, not necessarily done, but I think it'll be like Europe.
No Queen
No
Elizabeth.
Queen
you mean?
Elizabeth is what I'm thinking. Just the way in which James talks, like he's very articulate, and the way he talks, and like you can often sort of, I feel like if you're just reading it, you can't tell, but if you're hearing it, it's sort of the way he made it sound was if we go to the Ranvet, we'll then go to the Queen Elizabeth, but if we go to the George Ryder and say at the 1500, he'll sort of stay fresh and we'll take him to Royal Ascot. I don't know. I could be reading too much into it, but that's just the gut feel I'm getting.
Right. So, on the same topic, then, what are your futures looking like for the Queen Elizabeth Stakes? Because that's the play with the money back, or you get stupid unders, and then Adamo goes there and blows everything up.
If King's Gambit wins on the weekend, it's all up El Bodegon in the Queen Elizabeth, which will be worth about 9,000 to me. So
Beautiful.
We'll get King's Gambit home first, then we'll hope that Adamo doesn't go to the Queen Elizabeth, and El Bodegon comes out and runs super in the Ranvet, and we'll be sitting pretty.
Yes.
Having the $3 in the QE and a heavy 10 track would be ideal.
Yeah.
We'll be very tight with him again that weekend,
Yes.
won't we?
We're backing that
I'll
one
be in
again.
Thailand, so I might not come back.
This is though the first clash, I believe, since the Blue Diamond of Animo and Artorias.
Guineas.
Caulfield Guineas. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, one each. This is the rubber match.
True.
Woo! Well, that adds a bit of spice to the race.
That's
Maybe all the broadcasters should have gone with that angle.
Yeah.
You know, get a bit of interest going around. Ben, Animo, sticking solid.
Yeah, mate, you can't go against it. No chance. He's a superstar. I can't believe they're still giving him $1.60. I just don't understand.
Well, it depends how many multis Nick Lloyd's about to have into him.
Yeah, well,
No,
that's
I'm
true,
on it.
but
I'm
he's
on
just so
240.
much better
Oh.
than them. Like, it's just, he should be $1.10.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I think,
Anyway.
Taurus is it's just the only danger, just
He's
the way
no
he
hope.
finished off
He's
last start.
There's no hope of beating that.
Oh, I've just got
But
PTSD flashbacks
does-
from when he now encourages.
I've got
He's a
better
PTSD
horse.
flashbacks that he's in all your all-ups.
But that's just,
Pretty much.
I think that's just Artorias. He'll hit that 1 out of 20.
Yeah,
And that's his one. So
He
you've
does
got a
lose Zach
long-
Purden. Who's on him? Is it Zara?
Zara.
Yeah. What's Purton on? He's not here this
He's not
Saturday.
here this Saturday.
Gee, interesting.
He's buying another apartment building in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Derby Day on Sunday.
$100.
Yep.
We'll go back up. The cutest 3-year-old Jewel up here for the 3-year-olds. She's got the Boom 2-year-old winner. Different conditions this time last year. Meets one that potentially could be better in all that pizzazz. But you got a horse like Steady Ready who had the world at its feet and probably still does. I think fresh here from that third, that was a decent race on Sunny Coast, but the third in the King of the Mountain was probably the last time we were really talking about Steady Ready. The 1200 dry Doomben tight turning circuit. 17 for Steady Ready is probably not your recipe though.
No, I reckon there's a really good bet in this race at the double figures. I reckon Boom Court is a really good bet here. Barrier 3, Boris Thornton, flies first up. Forget its last start run on the 10th of December. It was toasted basically. That was pretty much the gist of that. Leading into that, it had a win and then 3 seconds. The 3 seconds were behind Narnia, then it ran second to Soothsayer and then second to Yellow Brick, which with any luck would have won the Magic Millions, really. So sort of that form line there is miles superior to a fair few of these. I don't know, I just thought at $12, $3.60. I can't believe it's out from 9s. I think it's a crazy good bet in this race. I'm real keen. And carries 57, which I think it carried against Yellow Brick on that particular occasion. So it's not like it was like 52 up to 57 or something like that. So yeah, it's a certain bet.
A little bit of the case of bad barriers as well here for me, but Star Tonte's little sister Ekaterina, drawn barrier 16 with KWT on board. But
Carter form.
So Carter form, exactly. She that Just Super that ran second in that race, Nick Welsh's horse from Rocky, like he's only lost 3 times. Twice to Chinny Boom and once to Ekaterina, and he won at the Sunshine Coast the other day. And apparently Ben Thompson got off and said, if I were you, I wouldn't be going back to Rocky with it. I'd be going to a Saturday race in Brisbane with him, like his Saturday horse. So, you know, to beat it. Then last start, 2.5 lengths behind Fashion Legend, Count de Beans and Stroll. Count de Beans got a slot in the Archer. Fashion Legend won the 3-year-old Magic Millions Guineas. Interesting, hasn't had a trial, probably had a jump out, but no public barrier trial. But yeah, this horse, she's pretty smart.
Mm.
And
Yep.
I think she's like 16.
I think the market's just a bit wrong. I don't know. Like, I mean, I like all that pizzazz, but $3.50. I just think there's a. I wouldn't. Yeah, I could be talked in 3 or 4 up around that as a bet.
Yeah, that bloke that does.
I'd almost leave it out of my quality as a bit of a risk.
I'm taking the 350. Put it that way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just thought we picked him from the trials. Just thought he came back
Yeah.
super, and then it's pretty. Who did he beat? Beast Mode, who I
Yeah.
think is probably
Beast
not a bad horse as well. Beat Beast Mode
Yeah.
last start. So I mean,
Probably fair.
maybe just put it together.
Mm.
This horse.
Yeah, I guess there's no, like, Dan O'Sullivan, who does all the weight phrase performance ratings and whatnot, like, I think Prince of Boom, when he won this race last year, ran like a 97 or something like that, whereas all that Pizzazz only ran 89 first up. But there's also nothing really in this race that can get to that level that Prince of Boom did. So it's probably a little bit lesser of a field than what we had 12 months ago. So yeah, trust the stable, trust the jock, good barrier.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
I reckon we wrap it up there at Doomben. Have you seen the last race?
Yeah, we might
Oh
make
no,
it.
there's a living, breathing.
Oh, jeez, all
So
right.
we better head there then.
That's hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, no, we know what it is.
Have we got a side bet between Northern Express and Better Rain for who finishes first between you two?
We have another side bet actually earlier on in the day.
You guys got
that
about
initial one?
75
Six
side bets
packet.
going.
What was it? I'm going to beat you.
Stuttering and
Tumbler Ridge or Stuttering, whatever beats whichever
Well,
one.
this could be a double or nothing later in the day. Better
It could
Rain,
be.
Northern Express.
Yep.
It won't be
It's
though.
closer. Nope.
It certainly could be. A lot of things could be, but it won't be. It probably won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they finish a dead heat for 15th,
Yeah.
shout Mozza a drink.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
No, why not? Well, Lloydie, we'll let you build the hype before we finish with the Group 1s because I know barrier is something we didn't want to talk about, but I know you were living and breathing last week when you gave one out at the trials.
Yes.
And this particular one, you're going to get $7, but you've also got to run from 7 car spots away in the car park
Correct.
to get onto the track.
Correct.
So is that your bet, or have you got something else for the mugs out there?
That's the bet. $7 favourite. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wide open.
Wide open.
Exclusive. The mugs will be running our tipping comp, and I think this race is just going to go
Yeah.
in. So it means that we're going to have one race, one winner.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm interested. So, Liz to Mania was also the equal $7 favourite. Hadn't drawn a barrier, but since been scratched and no deductions somehow. So, we'll wait and see.
Emergency?
It was, but Sportsbet usually take
you're right.
deductions on emergencies. Anyway, this mare's flying. She won this track and trip 2 starts ago, and then I reckon should have beaten Tilly Annam at this track and trip last start on the 11th of February when she drew barrier 3 that day. The start before that, she drew 9 and 11, got back, came wide. Last time, drew 3 of 10, got back, bottled up, nowhere to go, got out last 100 metres and flew. She goes from 58 kilos to 57.5, so really not that much of a difference, but she's a month between runs, great trial, I thought, behind We Own a Smart One, which I touched on last week. Barrier 15, go back, come wide. That's the plan. I think she's airborne.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm with Count the Coin for the Kemp Yard. I reckon
Very
it's
good first up run.
Yeah, I reckon it's a bet in this race. It's not had any success, great success at Doomben before, but it loves a good track. Second up, it's 2 from 5. Track and trip, it's had 1 start for a third. I just thought it was a bit of over the odds at a $26. Barrier 1, it'll sort of sit handy to the speed. Should be 2 or 3 pairs back the fence or the outside. I think it's a genuine bet in this race. Tegan Harrison on board, 26s and 7s.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Yeah, nice. I did like Bold and Lucy, Lloydie, just from your sprint that you love to give me, but Barrier 17, I'm not too sure, to be completely honest. Telephone booth, the Curry Yard, always flying. Barrier 4, 3 kilo claimer on the back, taking this thing to 51 kilos. Not sure if she can ride that light, but I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Jump lead, maybe steal it,
Possibly.
possibly.
Yeah, that'll be the plan with it for sure.
$14.
Yeah.
Few good horses are coming back through this race though. Mississippi Prince, I know you two were all over last prep.
I put it in for second.
I mean, Deep Sea Eva's first up here as well. Harlequin Field's drawn barrier 70,000. Opacity from the trialers looking for it next start, I reckon, if it runs a bold show into that.
What
to
did
the
it do?
mile.
Did it run last first up?
Yeah,
Patton's
12,
in as well. You're not keen on Patton again?
1200 for the
There was no jockey.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was no.
So that was my.
Yeah.
I put in the numbers because it was a great win first last start.
Yeah.
But yeah, no jock. I just thought I wonder maybe they might wait for like Wednesday.
Yeah.
And again, this is a pretty open race.
Yeah.
Pretty open race. Well, Monks, there's two big main events. These are the two that we're waiting for. We'll watch the Animo show. Golden Slipper, Galaxy, both huge in their own right. Lloydie, I'm going to ask you first, mate. Golden Slipper, okay, because I know you're a stats and data man.
Here we go.
How much are you looking into stats and data compared to what you've seen with 2-year-olds? The reason I sort of bring this up, learning to fly, done nothing wrong, apparently rated shithouse last start for its win. However, the horse has absolutely bolted in, coming from last, its first 2. 4-horse field, mad leader out in front. Would have been stupid for him to try those tactics and run down the leader. 3rd up on debut. So does it show the versatility of a horse like that and just shows that, hey, this thing's a potential superstar? Or is it just figures don't lie, I need to trust my data?
Yeah, I'm the first way inclined with, especially with a horse like her. Like, she's just a line finder. Like, on debut, I forget the horse that, it's Steel City. Like, Steel City loomed up to her, looked like it had her on toast, and then she kicked in and, like, went, nah, you're not getting past me, and then was strongest through the line. We know what Steel City's done since. And then...
Inglis Millennium
she drew the car park, had to go back, and like, what a super win that was. Like, she had no right to win from where she was, and then last start, like you say, 4 horses went forward. Chad sort of made the rest, like, he used her to be the dictator kind of thing, and Facile looked like she had her on toast at one point, and again she just went, no, you're not getting past me. So I think the Barry's perfect. She's a great result for me. I think she's definitely one of the 2 or 3 main hopes.
Yeah, on top for me too, Ben.
I'm with Don Corleone. I thought I know obviously Steel City came out of the Blue Diamond and then Saluda last weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was obviously a bit of a hard luck story. But I reckon Don Corleone was an even bigger hard luck story in that race. I think it was hampered twice. It absolutely, it galloped miles past Steel City. Yes, clearly that horse gave up. But barrier 6, Bowman on. Bowman's a big tick in these races. I sort of went off you post wings. He went a bit dusty for a while. But he's been to Hong Kong. He's had some dumplings or something, a bit of noodles, and walked up to them. He's on the Bing Tangs or the Sing Taos or whatever the hell they're called.
Well, to be fair,
and he's all flying.
Magic Millions. Remember when we went to the high roller Chinese that Friday night for dinner? And we were absolutely red hot Saturday.
We were.
There's something in it. There's something.
Yeah, I reckon there's a bit of method to that, man. If I might eat Chinese before every day I get on the farm.
I might have
because
to.
it's unreal. But yeah, I just think Barry 6. He did literally nothing wrong, and you get $10. Like, Cylinder's been ultra impressive as well for J-Mac and the Cummings team, but I don't know. I have to be with it. And we've got the grand finals specialists in Peter and
the 2-year-old
BDP and the BDP Snowden.
Yeah. For the sake of a tip, I'm not actually with Land to Fly. I'm with King's Gambit. I'm just going to stick with him. I think, like what you just
said. So you've got
said,
futures on King's Gambit and Land to Fly.
Yeah, so I got learning to fly at $46 or something, and King's Gambit at 15. So they're both very good results. King's Gambit the better of the two, despite the price.
How's that happen? Yeah, what have you had the entire... You just emptied your house and everything.
$15. A few bets.
Must have been a good day at Rocky that day.
Yeah. But like you just said about grand final specialist, this horse, he's just... If he just gets back to that day...
Screams it a bit, doesn't he? Ready to peak.
Like capitalist all over.
Yeah, it's capitalist all over again. It's got big time capitalist vibes about it.
He's going to finally get a race run to suit. He's drawn beautifully in 7. Mark Zara, great booking.
I think that's what I
still remember that year capitalist one, and I was
he was like $1.20 every race, and then he started
$9. Everyone jumped off, and I was like, what?
And I reckon he was almost third in the market order of the Snowden runners on the day too. They would have had another couple. And that's something I heard. I can't remember who said it, but I'm going to steal it and claim it as my own as well. But why King's Gambit's on top for a lot of pros, because he's the one that's been doing stuff wrong and has to get it right. and that could be grand final day. Whereas Cylinder and Learning to Fly, they've both just been surfing from the get-go, which 2-year-olds just don't do.
No.
So you almost want that horse that's just been fluffing about on the lead-ups, and then it's grand final day, everything will click, racehorse is made, we got a golden slipper winner.
Just hope that it cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just being cold, he's sort of like...
But they're all going to be in that boat, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess, but just listening, like, so... Brody, he's been sort of trackside for most of its runs, and like first up he messaged, like it was a hot day in Sydney, and like he messaged me and said this horse isn't fit and he's falling apart in the yard. So like I think some more than others, maybe he's a bit of a hothead, King's Gambit, and if it is really hot,
He's a bit like his perennial backer too.
quite possibly a bit of a hothead. Yeah,
He's sweating already thinking about it.
Steamed.
it's hot.
Steamed.
But yeah, so he's on top.
Last Group 1. We'll start with the Uncommon James Fan Club #1 participant / leader.
Yep.
$3.70, mate, in from 5. So you've refinanced your our podcast studio here. So we're rooting for you. Is he get the job done? Are you back on it?
100%. Straight up launch job. Barrier 4, D lane on. I mean, Benny Thompson, super effort winning the Group 1, but it's not like it's you're Frosty. The snowman, seriously. Like, I mean.
It's just the game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how it works.
So, well, hopefully the check's cleared for him by now.
Yeah, exactly. But, it's 100% a bet. There's a few sort of other runners that weren't in that race, but I just think I think its versatility is what astounded me. Like, it doesn't have to lead this race. Like Eduardo will come across, Zoostar will go forward, Shades of Rose knows no other way.
Sets
There's
it
about
up
3 or 4,
for
and
the
you can
same
just
run.
camp in behind and then just go. Frosty will be doing these ones at about the 200 as he cruises by. I can't see it getting beat, honestly. What's he carrying? 54.5 kilos.
Well,
Launch.
I'm with you too. I sort of wanted to make a case for Asfura, but Uncommon James just toyed with him that last 100 too. So it's not as if things that were getting out late. I mean, he just galloped through, eased down almost. Remark's probably the weighted horse of the race, but Remark hasn't done it. Hasn't done it yet.
There's a bit of a weight swing in Asfura's favour, a couple of kilos, which may make a bit of a difference.
But Asfura wasn't getting close to Uncommon James.
No, it wasn't. Agreed.
So,
Mate, you mentioned the horse, Remark, I'm with him. I just think, you say he hasn't done it, and you're right. Shelby 66
big stage.
was a
champion.
A highway runner-up this time last year, and he managed to win the race.
Wasn't he a superstar though, Big Shelby? Jeez, he was a
What a
tough
time.
horse.
What a time to be
It
alive.
was.
Yeah,
Those big heavy tracks.
time.
Absolutely love
The
that
movie's
horse.
got to be coming out soon.
I
surely.
reckon, yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Ride like a
horse
champion.
is-
It can be Ride Like a Girl and then have Ride Like a Champion. It'll
Yeah.
be the story of Shelby.
Michelle Payne starring as Shelby.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But back onto the topic of Remark. This horse, he had the gelding operation, he had the throat off, and he came out and he went bang bang in the spring. He beat a couple of handy horses. Then he was beaten by Rocketing By in the Sydney Stakes on Everest Day. Resumed with 62 kilos on his back, and he ran a career peak. Like if he repeats that with 51.5 on the back, like he just simply should be favourite in my opinion. And then last start, Weight for Age, he carried the 59 kilos. He was beaten 1.5 lengths behind Passive Aggressive Eduardo Giga Kick. And actually, now that I just think of it, Passive Aggressive's not here, so I forgot.
Coming out.
I don't know. Yeah, I only just noticed that. But anyway, he's going to meet Eduardo.
Giga Kicks, I think your $4 TJ favourite at the moment.
So he's going from, he's dropping 7.5 kilos, meaning Eduardo 7.5 kilos better, and only has to turn around 1.5 kilos. So you think he's got him covered. The dry track's going to be the key. 1100 compared to 1,000 last time. That's a big tick. I'm pretty bullish.
Yeah, I would be bullish too, and I'm hoping K-Max salutes on Manzois, but if he does botch that up, then
That's the worry. I would have rather see like Tim Clark, who's been on in both runs, get down to 51.5, just stick with him. But he's on. Actually, he was on in the Congo, and in the Congo it's been scratched, so a little bit of pace comes out of it. But still, like this race, it's going to be speed to burn. You've got
there'll be a fair bit of pace in it.
Shades
But at
of
the end of
Forest
it, we'll just be singing Frosty the Snowman.
Even better.
He's the Uncommon James is the horse that you want to get beaten by if you haven't backed him. I didn't back him in the Oakley play.
Well, you can have a saver on him if you're in your situation.
Oh, well, that's right. You can.
Well, if you want to. If you want to.
Yeah.
I
think you're on second. Yeah.
All right, best of the days from the Glory glorious Doomben.
Bazinga! Race 5, Tumbler Ridge. Living, breathing certainty.
Race 1 on Zuma, California.
Ooh, pump the.
Tens.
We're trying to get the percentages up.
Well, it almost worked the other week with Bottega.
Yeah. Fair to say, Moz is leading both comps. Not by much in the Group 1 stakes.
No, not by much.
Which could take a hit this weekend.
Yeah,
but the best
yeah.
bets, he's well and truly ahead of the boys here.
Don't need to lead by much, mate.
Yeah.
Well, the horse that I think's probably won 4 out of 5 weeks for me is Mashani Royale.
Yeah, probably should stick with it.
Stick with it in the grand final, race 7.
Yep.
And now, Mugs, long show today because we had a lot to go through. But Lloydie, question without notice here.
Yeah.
I did notice there's a Rockhampton card there on
yeah.
Saturday. Is there a Queensland hymn from the motherland?
I had a very, very quick look and just an old favourite of ours, Villa Cooler.
Oh, Villa
yeah.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Gotta be back on that. Jump on
so
board.
race 2, number 2.
Oh.
Has to race. So Deep Breath has been scratched. Nick Welsh had 3 in it. Deep Breath's one of them. It's come out, but Age of Innocence looking for 4 in a row. Drawn barrier 1 with the 2 kilo claimer. He's opted not to claim off Villa Cooler with the 60 kilos. So it'll be 5 kilos between. I'd imagine what'll be the top 2 in the betting, the 2 stablemates, but just for the fact that Villa Cooler's won. What's he won? He's won 8 races and we've been on all 8 times.
Yeah.
He's the Queensland him. Yeah.
And it's a Villa Cooler name too.
It's
so
very
so
cool.
we'll take that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers, Mugs.
Thanks.